Hey YouTube, Mrlubufu. Kinda early in the morning, but woke up early, so I might as well, I want to talk about my FNM draft deck. Only when I build decks that win will I talk about them, because if I built a really bad deck, it's not really gonna help anyone. I mean, I could say, don't go 4 colors and force Olivia Voldaren and Gavany Township in the same deck. Last time I didn't win packs. It was a while back, but anyway, this time was the first, or this FNM was the first one that I actually went into saying something you should normally never say, which is I'm going to force an archetype. I was like, I saw Connolly Woods, his ninth in this draft, and he did mill your opponent, which uses a lot of really bad cards that are sure to table. Like, people look at the pack and they don't even register these as cards. So you're able to get a really good, or a really consistent deck with a lot of really bad cards. So it made, like, the people around me knew I was going to be doing something funny, because I first picked this foil Instigator gang. The guy to my left opened an Instigator gang, and the guy to his left opened a Garruk. This is all pack 1. So the guy to my left was really weirded out because I didn't take much red. But let's go ahead and look through what makes this deck. I will preface this, though, with a big asterisk saying I do not recommend you try and force this strategy unless you start seeing that it's open, because if the cards aren't there, you will lose and you won't be able to build a deck. Like, you really need to start seeing whether or not these start tabling. I was stupid and told myself I was going to force it, and I got lucky. I made a whole ton of really bad draft picks. But let's go ahead and start. So the first is Gold Collar's Bell. I took 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. This card's actually completely insane if you're milling the opponent, if you get it out there turn 1, because oftentimes it's able to mill a good 6 or 7 cards, and it's just a consistent clock on them. So I like this card a lot. Also, it mills yourself, which means the next card, Dream Twist, is just really good. It mills 3 and then has flashback, so you essentially get to mill 6 off these, which in a 40 card deck, 6 is a lot. And so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, good. The art looks similar enough on these off the reflection of the camera. So I got 5 of them. And 4, yeah, 5. Good, I can count. And that card is like that's the cornerstone of the deck. Like, the fact is, you get to mill 6 cards for 3 mana. So turn 1, you want to get the bell out there first. But Dream Twist having flashback are just absolutely huge. They won a couple games because I would mill him with Ghoul Collar's Bell and then be able to still flash it back. We got a Silent Departure. You'll notice the distinct lack of removal in this deck. And one of my cards is missing. That's awesome. Oh, right, because I gave it away. Okay, I have to remind myself what it is. Okay, we got a Silent Departure, a Sensory Deprivation. This card's actually really good since my deck took, like, I picked Ghoul Collar's Bell over Into the Maw of Hell. I passed a Manor Gargoyle at one point. Like, this is not what you're supposed to do in draft, but I was being silly and forced it. So Silent Departures, or not, Sensory Deprivation is quite good. It's essentially Swords to Plowshares on a creature because it most of the time can't attack. We got a single Geist Flame, which I was happy to get. Again, flashback is huge. We got a single Harvest Pyre, which actually did something relevant, because someone had a giant 8/8 out in the field, and because of the Ghoul Collar's Bell, I actually had 8 cards in the yard. We've got actually 2 Rolling Trembler. This is what I passed over a Manor Gargoyle, because this is my removal. The only deck that this really loses to is the extremely aggressive decks that often have creatures on the ground, and I won a game against the Garruk deck because he went turn 1 Delver of Secrets, turn 2 Hamlet Captain. His Delver didn't flip, and then I played Rolling Trembler, and then he drew nothing but lands. It's a lot of value. Before I show this Claustrophobia, I got really late. But the other card that's missing from here is I had a single Burning Vengeance, which was, again, more removal for what I needed. Then we got a Claustrophobia, which I was very happy to get really late in pack 3. And then I have 1, 2, 3 Curse of the Bloody Tomes. I mean, I like it. It's again, another clock like Ghoul Caller's Chant. Mills 2 at the beginning of their upkeep can be quite useful. And then, time for the 4 creatures of the deck. Yeah, I only played 4 creatures. 2 Selhoff Occultists, a Cruin Outlaw, and the Instigator Gang. The reason I put these in here was because my reasoning was, if I put these on the board, they have to deal with them. That was essentially my only reasoning, because, yeah, I mean, it's not really much more than that. They have to deal with them. But the primary goal was to mill. I drafted, I think I also got the instant speed clone one of your creatures that I played, and in one of my practice matches I got a bye the first round. In one of my practice matches I actually copied a flipped Cruin Outlaw in response to his Slayer of the Wicked, so that was fun. So I got a permanent 3/3 double strike that promptly traded with 2 of his guys, but that was fun. So I took that out because I realized 4 creatures, I'm not going to have a creature on the field to copy. So, yeah, so I went 3-0 with this deck quite easily. I played a whole ton of other people just because this was fun, and I beat all but one guy. I lost 1 match, because both games he got Cage Breakers out and then attacked with 8 wolves, because I had milled half his deck. That was actually quite funny. So, this deck was absolutely insane. It's an archetype that I think people... Like, the people are not going to try and force most of the time, but if you see these cards and they're floating around late and there's nothing else in the pack, I would actually take them. If there's a possibility in a sideboard, I wouldn't, but if someone tries to force this deck and it works out, I found there is no deck that can beat it. I played the Garuk guy 4 times. He sideboarded in differently every time. He's actually quite good. He was another guy that went 5-3 at the PTQ. He actually started out 5-0, so he just had a really bad losing streak right at the end. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. It was a lot of fun to play. It's my last FNM till 2012, so that's gonna be fun, because I go home and I'm gonna probably relax a lot more during the holiday break. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.